We are going on with Mathematics Paper 1 of November 2021. Let us start with question 5. Given that fx is equals to negative 1 over x minus 3 plus 2. 5.1. Write down the equations of the asymptotes of f. So the standard equation of this function is fx is equals to a over x minus p plus q, where q represents the horizontal asymptote and p represents the vertical asymptote. So from this equation, we can read off the p and q value to find the asymptotes. So the equations of the asymptotes are y is equals to 2, because that's the q value, and x is equal to 3, because that's the p value. 5.2. Write down the domain of f. Now the domain refers to all the possible values of x. So imagine I take a vertical line and I move it along the x-axis starting from negative infinity. So at negative infinity, we know that this graph will intersect with that vertical line, and then as I move it on, it will always intersect with the graph, except for where x is equal to 3. This is called the vertical asymptote. So the graph will not exist where x is equal to 3. But after x is equal to 3, the vertical line will again intersect with the function. That means the domain is x is every real value, but x cannot be equal to 3, because that is the vertical asymptote. 5.3. Determine the coordinates of the x-intercept of f. So to find the x-intercept, we need to make y equal to 0. And remember that f of x is in the place of y. So if I replace y with 0, I have 0 is equals to negative 1 over x minus 3 plus 2. Now in order to solve for x, I would move the 2 to the left-hand side. Thereafter, I will multiply negative 2 with x minus 3. So it will be negative 2 times x minus 3 is equal to negative 1. Now I got rid of the fraction. Then I multiply out. So that's negative 2x plus 6 is equal to negative 1. I'll move the 6 over. And then I would solve for x by dividing by negative 2. So the coordinates of the x-intercept is x is equals to 7 over 2 or 3.5, and y value is 0. Remember, it's not about only finding x, but also to determine the coordinates. So you need to give your answer as coordinates. 5.4. Write down the coordinates of the y-intercept. Now for the y-intercept, we'll make x equal to 0. So the y-intercept would be y equal to negative 1 over 0 minus 3 plus 2. And that is equal to 2 1/3, or you could say 7 over 3. Therefore, the coordinates of the y-intercept would be x is 0 and y is 7 over 3. So remember, the question was for coordinates. So you can't just give a y value. You need to leave your answer as coordinates. 5.5. Draw the graph of f. Clearly show all asymptotes and intercepts with the axes. So when we draw functions, we always want to show the y-axis and the x-axis. Also show the point of origin. It's good practice to put arrows at the ends of all the axes to show that they continue indefinitely. Next, I'll show the asymptotes. So the vertical asymptote is x equal to 3, and the horizontal asymptote is y equal to 2. And lastly, I'll show the y-intercept as 7 over 3 and the x-intercept of 7 over 2. And when I draw in the curves, I will make sure that these curves do not touch or intersect with the asymptotes. So I'll make sure that I have the right shape in the right quadrants.